Okay, this is a model of an aquifer with the various layers that are here. We have limestone, we have some gravel, dirt, and sand, and this cup right here represents the aquifer. Now, when it comes to watersheds, this area at the bottom is usually blocked off by limestone. So in this case, we'll assume that this is surrounded by limestone. And the aquifers, what they are, is openings in the ground where water will accumulate when it's infiltrated from the top. And we can use this, humans can use this as a water source, and this also is can highly be contaminated if foreign substances get in. Now, what I'm going to show here is how water goes from the top, infiltrates, percolates all the way down, and will actually collect in the aquifer, as well as filling up down here. And what you're going to see is that as it's filling up, you're going to see a water table begin to arise. Then once we hit the gravel and the sand, the dirt and the sand, then we're actually going to have saturation. If we go past that saturation point, then we'll get flooding. So what we're going to do right here is I'm going to pour some blue liquid to simulate rain here on the top, and we're going to see how the rain is going to penetrate all the way down and start filling up. We can assume that the bottom of the box is actually a rock known as shale. And shale is called an impermeable rock because it doesn't let water pass through. So what will happen is when water hits that impermeable layer, the water is going to build up, as it keeps going. Like I said, it's going to saturate, and it's going to create a perfect example of a water table. And then we'll see how we can get it all the way to a saturation point. So here we see rain, and of course the rain in this case is blue. So you should start seeing a water table begin to form. Okay, as you can see on the top, we have, this would indicate maybe a torrential rainfall, maybe even a hurricane. As you can see on the top, the rain is going down quite quickly. It's being absorbed. Okay, you can see here on the sides how it's starting to go down. It's percolating through the gravel, and it's going to start, it's percolating through the dirt, and it's going to start going through the gravel any minute now. And we'll keep watching. You can start to see how it's starting to come out here at the bottom. And I hope it starts doing it quickly because I'm filling up here with water at the top. Okay, we'll give that just a little bit to kind of get down there. Now what's happening here is that all this dirt right here is tightly compacted, so it's helping to kind of hold it. That's okay, we can fix that. So what you're going to start to see in a little bit is how it's going to fill up as soon as all this water starts draining down. Infiltrated yet? Should start breaking through any second. kind of have to help it down a little bit there. Okay, now you're starting to see how the water table is beginning to form finally after some help. There we go. Now we got our water table filling up. So as you notice, even if it's if the gravel and everything is very tightly compacted, you're gonna get some form of holding. This is how we get flooding, and after a while, flood water will recede. So we're gonna add a little bit more rain. See what starts happening. Again, it's absorbing into the ground, absorbing a lot slower now because this is all saturated. So now what's happening is the water table is building up. We're starting to get a water table under here. So as you can see, it's filling up, it's filling up. It's hit that shale already where it's not going to keep going, and now it's going to keep climbing up, and now we're starting to get water here in our reservoir. And this water, I mean, if this was a real place, they'd actually come and be able to pump it out and use it for human use. A little straighter here on the water. Okay, so we're going to get a little brave here and keep going. As you can see again, the water table is rising. This of course would model a time in maybe an ecoregion of Texas or the area where there's massive amounts of rain. And if there's massive amounts of rain, you're going to have more water erosion on the surface, which is going to allow even more liquid to make its way down into the water table and replenish. Or like we saw in the video, this would be a recharge zone where you're getting liquid back into the aquifer. So there we go, we have it filling back up. Let's add some more. So as you can see here, we have our aquifer is nice and full, and our water table has actually reached about right here. So the rest later on, this topsoil right here will eventually dry off, and I'm going to leave it over the weekend to see if it actually does dry off. And of course, for human use, we can always drill a pump, get into that cup, and we can actually pull out the water from there.